What's up, guys? It's Jake, also known as Just Foot, on Instagram and Twitter. I want to bring you guys a low-budget trading method video. So with this video, I typically think this is better for the budget between like 5 and 50K in terms of what you want to be using, and then depending on how many you're winning and how quickly you're doing it, I think you can make upwards of 50K using this method as well. So with that said, pretty much everything on my transfer list here is has been done using this method, and really this method is nothing. This method is nothing crazy. All it is essentially is mass bidding, but where this method comes in handy and where the value I bring to this video is in the filters. So filters can be very, very helpful when you're mass bidding, because you obviously want to find the filters that there are less people on those cards, as it gives you a better chance to win the cards, of course. So with that said, pretty much everything I've been doing in here, if you look at Lisandro Martinez here, he was a huge one for me. You want to be looking for cards that still have top nations, so they can link within teams, but they're not in the top leagues. So that way, people aren't specifically targeting them, but there still is a demand for them. So if you look at Lisandro Martinez here, he's about 2.4K when I was trading with him. He's probably a lot different from that now. I haven't checked him in a minute. But really, all you want to do, as I mentioned, is you want to mass bid. So you first want to find what his min price will be. And once you find that, so if you look at that, he instantly sells at 1.6. So what I would do is I would set this to like 900. And so you see there's a minute left here, which is good. And you see all these are within like 10 seconds of each other. That's what you want. It's easier to win cards when there's a bunch of them expiring at the same time. So what you would do is you just set 650 for all these. As you can see, these are all free, which is great for me. Obviously, there's going to be people who bid on them eventually, or at least some of them. But this is how I've been winning a bunch of cards, and this is how you can too. Again, it's all has to do with the filters, and that's why we're going to head over to FUTBin in just a second, so I can show you how I find these filters. But if you see here, so essentially you just mass bid. I know that he insta sells for was at 1.7K. So what I do, once I win a bid, I want to sell him up to that price right away, so that he insta sells and I get those coins, and I just essentially it's a continuous method. So that way, like, you're continuously building, and that's what can make it efficient. So with that said, I'll take you over to FUTBin to kind of show you guys, how I find these methods. Okay, so we're back on FUTBin here. And looking at the screen, like I said, I want to bring you guys to the filters. That's the biggest point of this video. Obviously, mass bidding is just general knowledge. Everyone does it. But the reason why it's been working for me and why it can work for you is because you need to find these specific filters that enable you guys to win more cards. So as I mentioned, I've typically been doing this between 2 and 6K in terms of cards I want to look at. You can do it for higher, but I think it's a little bit more effective for the lower budget. So what I did, I filtered out by 2 to 6K. As I mentioned, you want to look at leagues that are not the top 5 but still have good nations, and then also filter out by gold, because silvers are good to trade with because they're more rare, but for this method you want a bunch of cards ending on open bid at the same time, because that's how you'll win more of them. So if you look here, Johan Mojica was another one on my list who I made bank with. He looks like he's 3.8K here. I was winning him for like 600 coins to like 1,000 coins, I think, when I was selling him for like 2.5 a couple of days ago. But nonetheless, these are players that you can target, specifically in the second league in Spain. Moving over to the next one, again, I just kind of filtered it out by the same price range, by gold, in one of the off leagues. If you look here, I try to stay away from Pepe and Pizzi. Again, those are more, mainstream guys. More people tend to be on those if people know who they are. If you look at Saravia here, I think he's up because of SBC fodder, but this one's a perfect example in my opinion. He's a right back. He has 90 pace, so he's obviously in demand, but not a lot of people know who he is. So just getting on these, again, if we were looking at Saravia, what you would do, you want to make sure he quick sells, or he sells instantly, excuse me, for 5.5K. You would bid continuously on one page, go back to your transfers, keep bidding up to say 5K. Once you want him at anything less than 5, you would flip him for 5.5 and just continuously keep moving. And then just the last one I pulled up, again, you can do this with any off league. You can do this with any league, really, but the reason I think this works is because, you're not on those top 5 leagues. So if you look here, Guillermo was on my list, who I was doing it with. He was a great one for it. Sosa would be a good one at 4.5K. Obviously, the higher you get in terms of how much they cost and how much you can quick sell them with, the more money you can make. And say if you get them on 2K and sell them for 4.4 rather than dealing with Guillermo when you win them at 2K, sell them at 2.4. So That's kind of, you know, how I've been finding these and what I've been doing in terms of low budget trading. If this video helped you out, please smash a like, hit a subscribe, and I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks.